Excellency Uche Veronica and his wife, Excellency the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps from African countries in Thailand, Your Excellency, Ambassador of South Africa to Thailand, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I don't really know how to thank you, and I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I keep saying I'm speechless because from the day I touched down in Thailand till this moment, I have been very much overwhelmed by the warmth, the hospitality of the Thai government and the people of Thai, the university, the Mahidol University president and his team, the Minister of Health of Thailand, the Vice Minister and their teams, not only in Bangkok, but their provincial teams where we went to, up to the health centers, their health posts. But I feel very privileged and very honored. And as I said yesterday, that fortunately for me, God has placed me on the shoulders of giants. I am not the giant. The giant are the rural people, the rural men and women who have been suffering from the scourge of river blindness. I bet you that many of us in this room, you have the disease in your villages. You may see farmers and fishermen itching a lot, having ugly, unsightly rashes. Some of them going blind at a much early age of 60, 70. But at that time, or even now, you are not aware that it's a tiny fly we call the black fly, very powerful but very tiny, that transmits a worm into them, and from there the worm spreads to the whole body, entering their eyes and making them to become blind and destroying their skin and causing them to be infertile. Having said that, I want you, my ambassador, to kindly thank Her Royal Highness, the Princess, to send a message to the Queen of Thailand that she's a mother of all the poor and an advocate of all the poor people, not only in Thailand, but in the entire Africa region. Because by setting up this foundation and by setting up her museum, which we visited today, on textiles, empowering Thai women. Can you imagine, my brothers and sisters, if all the wives of the heads of states in Africa would do 1/10 of what the mother, the Queen, the president of Rwanda in my presence told the African ministers exactly what I'm repeating. Africa is not poor. Africa is poorly managed. We have been overwhelmed by the success. If you look at the agriculture sector, if you look at the health sector and see what the Thais have done in the health sector, I just hope that our Minister of Health will come to this country and visit one province, one. I'm not asking him to go to 2 provinces, one, and visit the Ministry of Health and look at the agenda and the plan of action of Ministry of Health and how they are now looking after and building plans that will look after even the poorest. They have universal coverage they have achieved, but now, as the Princess said, her emphasis is on quality of that coverage. Thailand is not richer than Nigeria. It is the heart of the golden heart of the king and the golden heart of the Queen of Thailand that they have transferred to all the rich people and all the learned people in Thailand. As they groom their academics, as they groom their politicians, they also put in them sympathy for the poor. And that is what we call leadership. The Brit and us who came to Thailand were taking away so much lessons. We are humbled. We are truly, truly humbled by what we saw. And I thank God that my son, who has suffered so much in the past years when I was doing this work, that he's here to see that hard work pays and working for the poor is the right thing to do. I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for the time you have taken and your wife for the time you have taken to organize this for us. And I want to ask Your Excellencies here at your meetings and your messages to countries in Africa to please ask the President not to allow river blindness to come back to Africa. The prediction is that by 2020, 23 African countries would have eliminated river blindness. But there is a condition to that. If their governments continue to support those communities that are distributing the drug to continue to distribute. And what are the communities asking for? Bring the drugs. Bring the drugs. We already know how to distribute. We will distribute. So we just want a strong health system that will deliver the drugs to the communities or to the nearest collection point, and the communities will go and pick the drugs and give to themselves. So I just pray you to please ask them not to allow the community-directed approach, not to allow this approach to die, and to use it for other health interventions. And as I told the Ugandan team many years ago, the Ugandan politicians many years ago, community-directed approach is good politics. It is excellent politics because the communities, those they have selected to distribute the drug, when they distribute for a certain number of years, they ask them to run for councillor, and they win because they are serving their people. It is the best way of reaching your people. It is not by distributing goods and rice. It is by reaching them to be part of the solution to their health problems and to any other problem they have, agriculture. You can apply this strategy to anything. So please, and I would also like you to consider what the Queen has done on nutrition and what the Chinese have launched last January. Last month. Last year, about 500 journalists in China teamed up and launched school feeding and started raising money for it. I know that here, if you would also launch that sort of initiative and let the communities be trained to prepare food for themselves, for their children, and give them the food, you will make a huge difference in Africa. But that we can always discuss, Your Excellency. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for what you're doing for Africa here. Thank you, and please thank the Thai government. Let us learn as much as we can from them, because these are really very good people, people that can teach the world the best way to do things, new ways of doing things, and we need to associate more with them and learn from them. Thank you very much, and thanks for listening.
I can only say that